Hello learners, in this tutorial we are going to see how to modify architectural columns in Revit. So let's get started. So in order to add a column, you have to go to the architectural tab, and under the build panel, you can see there is a column tool available for us. So you need to just go to the drop down, and you can see there are two types of columns, that is structural and another one is architectural column. So as we are dealing with the architectural part, we are just concerned with the architectural stuff. So I'll just select the architectural column here. And as you can see, we have the family here, that is column rectangular, and here are the types of the rectangular column that are available. And here we have few constraints that we can check as we begin modeling a column. Okay, so here, like we have rotate after placement. For now, let's keep it unchecked. Then you have to specify whether you want depth or height. So we'll see this while we uh, are dealing with the modeling of the column. So for now, we'll just make use of height first, and then we'll check how it changes when we select the depth. Okay. So for now, we'll use the height and select the placement as level 0. Sorry, means we are starting from the level 0 and it's asking us the top constraint. So the top constraint would be level 1, as we are going from level 1 to level 0 to level 1. So this is what the basic uh, property adjustment or modification is done prior to beginning our model. So in order to place the column, you can just hover anywhere, and for now I'll just do it beyond our modeled geometry just for an example purpose. So I just place here, and we can use a section in order to check everything. Go to view in order to check the column. Now you can see, as we have used the height as a parameter for modeling, the column is generated like from level 0 to level 1, and as we have specified the height, it moves upwards. So if I use a column with depth as a treating parameter, so I just select the column again. Now notice the changes. So instead of height, I will go with depth and let it be unconnected for now, and I'll just place it here. As you can see, it's not visible in the floor plan, as my column starts from level 0 and it moves downwards as we have selected the depth instead of height. And you can even check the parameters of these columns and these columns. You can compare the data of these two particular columns. So as we have selected the depth, it's a negative value here. Okay. So instead, if I want to remodify my column and have the column to be flushed at level 1 starting from level 0, you can change that as well. Instead of base offset of negative 4000 mm, I'll just put it as 0, and I'll just make the change here, like here level 1, and here I'll just make it 0. So my column is now shifted back and it looks similar to the one which you have created earlier. So this is all about basic stuff related to the modeling part of the column. So we have the similar interface when you go to edit type. So if you want a rectangular column of your choice or any other dimension, you can go to edit type, and here we have this kind of interface. The family is a rectangular column, and you need to specify a type, or you can create a new one. For now, we'll just have a new one. I want a rectangular column of 900 by 900 mm size, so which is not available here. Then I'll just hit duplicate here. Make sure you are naming it correctly. Sorry, 900 by 900 mm, hit OK. And here you have to just modify the numbers. Depth is 900 and my width is also 900. And if you want to specify any other information or add any other information, you can add it over here. Okay, so that's it. Now, as we have set, and here if you want to assign any material, you can even assign it. Just hit these dots here and you can assign concrete and hit OK. As you can see, the material of concrete is now assigned and finish. As you can see in 3D, my 900 by 900 column is available. Okay, in this way, you can have your columns created in your Revit model. So another stuff which you can see is that you can use array for elements, for multiple elements. So in order to use the array command, you need to select that element, and under the modify tab, you can see you have an array command. So use this array tool. For now, we will just focus on the linear part. As we proceed ahead, we can have an example of the radial arraying as well. So with the linear array on, we can have it used in two ways, that is move to second and move to last. So how it works, let's check using an example. So for now, I just keep it as move to second, and I will just add the number as 5. And you need to select and specify a start point and specify a end point, that is around 1400. Okay, now we can see the 5 entities are created, and in this way you can create an array. And another thing, like I'll just make it uh, and another example just to showcase what the difference is between those two options. So instead of depth, I have to choose height here. So level 1, 0, 0. So we have another column here. I go to array again, and instead of move to second, this time I will use select as last. So I just repeat the same, select the start point and select the end point. Now I have used the array tool using two different methods. So first one is move to second, and the last second one is move to last. So what's the basic difference here? If I change the number here, for example, if I make it 5, you can see the columns are added or the number is increased with respect to the first and last column only, and there are no elements that are exceeding beyond this last one. Okay, so even if I make this as 7, there won't be any element that is being created means extending to this column, that is the last column. All the elements that are created or that are deleted would be in this portion only, and nothing will exceed beyond this column. But in this method, when you use move to second, here if I change the number of array and the elements required will be 7, so you can see the elements are added beyond this second element. So if I change the number to 8, the elements would exceed and they will be added consecutively with reference to this second element that we have chosen as a reference. So in this way, the two methods of arraying works. I hope it's clear. So let's move ahead. So for now, I have to add a column at my geometry model. So in my geometry model, so I just flip this section here and go to view to check it, how it looks. Okay, it looks fine. Now what I will do, I just add a column at the corner. So in order to add the column, like I'm going to add a column at this corner on the first floor. So I'll go to level 1 floor plan and I want a column here. So I'll just add a column here, and it is 900 by 900. For now, I'll just place it randomly. Okay, so as I have selected the depth, it's going beyond the first level. So if you want to see, you can see it here. So I don't want the column to be placed in this fashion. I just delete it. I go to level 1 again. Now before placing the column, I'll just fix these parameters. Now I want the column to be present in terms of height, represented in terms of height, and I want this column to go up to level 2. So I've fixed these constants and I will just hit any location. So my column is now placed. I want to move it or flush it with the floor that is available. So what I can do, I'll just move this column using this corner as a reference, and I will place this corner to the end of this floor that is available. If you check in 3D, my column is visible, something like this. Okay. So in this way, you can have a column placed, or even if you don't want this, you can have the column placed at the grids here as well. So if you check the 3D, it looks something like this. Now we are fine with it. Now let's move ahead. So once you are done with the column placement, now there are few more important topics that we need to cover. So we'll see those in the upcoming lecture. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lecture.